evening. You don't even need to listen to. You don't need to listen to me. We just need to play some music and chill. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Friday finale. We're here at the end of the work week. Although it's not the end of the work week for real. It's the end of the work. It's the last week night, and then tomorrow, even though it's Saturday, I'm gonna have a full day of work. I have some stuff to do here early in the morning. Then I have a little break in between, just kind of get some living and cleaning and other stuff done, and then I'll be right back here around 4:45 to meet up with John Ward and the Deacon, Anthony, and this guy over here, Matt. What's going on, Matt?
Hello, Francis.
Are you excited to hang out with John Ward tomorrow?
I'm very excited about it.
He wrote your character into this script that we're shooting tomorrow, so he's taking consideration into who you are and what he wants to see you do.
I'll do whatever he needs me to do.
Oh, that's a lot of people are very happy to see you tonight. Nobody believed that you were still alive.
Trump didn't lose yet.
I know, so you're just holding on to dear life. That's all it is right now. How's work been?
It's been all right. It's
been
good.
Now, how have you pulled any overnight shifts with snow? We've had two storms.
Last Friday. I didn't have work overnight for that, but a sewage line broke, and we had to go dig the road up. And we didn't dig the road up, but
and then came the snow afterwards.
1 a.m. and then came the snow that morning.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah.
I didn't have to work all through.
Oh, so you got a little bit of a break then.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, we've been doing a lot. This week was officially the anniversary week for Zeralza.
30 years.
It's going to be 30 years in 12 years. I mean, that's true. Well, what the hell is 12 years? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It's not.
I mean, it's been 12 years since you really started. No. You came in a little bit
longer than that.
A little bit, yeah. Since you started hanging out with us and really becoming homeboys.
9 years since this whole Trump era began?
Yeah.
Right? 2015?
You showed up to start hanging. You showed up at the studio to hang out for the first time around 10 or 11, right?
It was maybe a year, maybe 2 years before, maybe it was 11 or 12. No, before that.
No.
Yeah.
We moved in there in 2009. You were not around at that point.
Maybe 2010 or 11 then? I don't know.
It could be. It's around 2010 or 11, but there's just so much it's just incredible. It's just incredible the time spent, the time invested, and so I did a lot of looking back. I actually have a couple of leftover things that I was looking at from over the last however many years. Some stuff with Anthony and Mike, just little things I thought you would appreciate. Some songs, like one song. This other, for example, I mean, you know this one. Where the hell is it? Hold on a second. I don't know. I'll get around to it. Where is it? You remember, I love going around to Anthony freaking out around before 10-second songs when he was still doing Fiverr. Where is he? Oh, here it is. You remember this when he got all the mistakes that he.
I'm gonna fucking fuck somebody up now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna uppercut I have the uppercut microphones clip over here. Take a look at this. Ready?
See me get pissed? You see me uppercut microphones!
the lower lip is what gets me on that one. Hold on. Do it one more time.
See me get pissed? You see me uppercut microphones!
These are the things that keep me alive.
You wanna see me get pissed?
Yeah. I always love that. Who is he talking to? There was somebody watching him playing a prank on him or something, and he's gonna show them by punching the microphone. Oh, you want to see me uppercut microphones? Oh, so I had to find some more of those. And there's just some things. There's some things for you I have, and I don't know. It's Friday, so just chilling a little bit. I know that you're only going to be around for the first half, so I want to get some of that in, do some Babylon B and relax, and then tomorrow it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to do it tomorrow. Really can't. Hang out with John Ward. And next Tuesday, I might have to take the night off. Next Tuesday night, that's the 27th. I might have to take that night off just to get a head start on a lot of the other projects we got going on over here. And, yeah, I'll update you on that on Monday anyhow, which will be here because there is no book club on Monday. I'll be here in Studio A. All right. First things first. Let's get into the grab bag, shall we? All right. Hold on a second. Here you go. Matt, I know you're going to like this one. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Just sorry. Sorry about that. Headline from Fox News. Migrant, illegal alien, charged in deputy's death. Files civil right lawsuit. Okay? Cites the disability of not knowing English. Says they're disabled because they don't know English. There's
a lawyer that took the case for him.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course.
He has no civil rights.
A Guatemalan migrant who was accused of killing a police officer last year is now leading a lawsuit against the deceased deputy's estate. Can you imagine that? This is what I'm talking about.
Some immigration official or someone who helps people that are in the country illegally probably told them that about this and they should do it.
Some snake, some domestic snake who is just trying to play their part in this fiasco actually had the nerve of encouraging this felon just for breaking into another country. And then, of course, going and committing a murder. They committed this felon to countersue the estate of the person that they were responsible, at least in part, of having lose their lives, alleging that he was the victim. Virgilio Aguilar Mendez was charged with aggravated manslaughter of an officer after a scuffle involving several law enforcement officers in May of 23 left one of them dead. Attorneys representing Mendez filed a new civil rights lawsuit on Thursday seeking compensatory. Think about this. Wants damages from the incident as they claim the officers violated their civil rights.
Illegals don't have civil rights.
The lawyers especially claim that Aguilar his limited ability to speak or understand English and Spanish constituted a disability. So they allege that he was also denied an interpreter at the scene and at the sheriff's office. Yeah, what does he want? An egg in his beer too? It's just
we let disabled people into the country.
I know. No sane nation would do that. There you have it. Actually, there you go. There you go. Everybody coming over the southern border is actually disabled. They are unable to take part in normal American life. Well, what the hell is that anymore? This was a part of normal American life at one point. Going to Red Lobster and having endless shrimp. Well, that's going away. That's going away. Red Lobster makes a change to all-you-can-eat deal after customers ate so much the restaurant suffered massive losses.
Oh, well, that's I can only wonder.
Red Lobster has made a significant change to its all-you-can-eat deal. This is a decades-long deal. I don't go there.
I've never been there either. I didn't know they even did that.
Oh, you don't remember all the Red Lobster commercials? Those used to be the Red Lobster commercials, even though I've maybe been there twice in my life, and both times in Florida. I used to love those commercials because I love breaded fried shrimp. And I can remember as if it was yesterday, just having that one shot of the lemon slice getting squeezed over all of the shrimp. I was like, oh, that looks great. And, even though I didn't go to eat at Red Lobster, it was good to know somewhere in the country this deal existed. It was comforting.
Yeah.
It's going away because we're fat asses. The brand announced in June that its ultimate endless shrimp offering would become a permanent option on the menu for customers. Let's see here. After it was solidified, those who took advantage of the bottomless shrimp deal seemingly ate so much that it directly affected financial losses for Red Lobster at the end of 2023, as per CNN. Third quarter earnings reports from Red Lobster noted an $11 million operating loss, of which the ultimate endless shrimp was seemingly directly a part. The fat
They lost
asses.
$11 million.
In shrimp. That's probably like 4 people.
Maybe they shouldn't let anyone into a buffet that's like over, I don't know, 320 pounds or something.
There would be a weight limit. If I had a restaurant, if you want to talk about a civil rights lawsuit, if I had a restaurant and I wanted to make anything on the menu bottomless or endless, you would have to get on a scale first to qualify. I would have to calculate your BMI, and we would have Jay Gulanello there calculating everybody's BMI. That would get a lawsuit first day. The deal was offered first at $20 for all-you-can-eat shrimp at Red Lobster and was slowly increased to $23 and $25. But the price hike did not prevent the financial loss. In the fourth quarter of 23, those losses increased to $12.5 million.
Is it for the whole company, or this is just one store?
They're saying Red Lobster. They're not saying a franchise in Tampa. They're just saying Red Lobster. Hold on. Red alert. The Red Lobster CEO speaks out after abrupt policy change shocks the industry. See, if I saw that happening, I wouldn't say let's just ride it out for the rest of the year. I would just change it immediately. Sorry, we updated the menu. You guys are just too fat.
Yeah, just get rid of it entirely.
So there's that. There's nothing left. There's nothing left of the America we once knew. Even Red Lobster and its endless shrimp. Okay, so what did you think about? Do you have AT&T? Did you have an SOS yesterday?
No.
Did you read about any of the cell phone outages?
Yeah, I saw about that. Wasn't it from like a solar flare or some shit?
Some people are held, just really sold. This is definitely solar flare. Other people think that it is a hack. People think that it's also a combination of the two. Did anybody at work lose? Somebody had to have.
Maybe 1 or 2 people, but no one really said anything. For the most part, people's phones were working, I think, down there.
I had this. This is from Jimmy Corsetti. He put this out. Actually, first I had this. Somebody emailed me and said, "Hey, Frank, I just wanted to pass on a little information I heard. Since we all had the cell phone service go down a day or so ago, my buddy told me his friend works at a military hospital in Alaska. And he told me the DOD's network had been down for the last 2 days. It may be nothing, but with the cyber attack on the pharmacies and the cell phone service, I figured it'd be worth mentioning." Now, I didn't know anything about that, and like I said before, there would be plenty of people who would contest the idea that it was a cyber attack at all. I think that AT&T said it was like some kind of a new program or a process that was poorly implemented. I don't know. But Jimmy Corsetti put this out there from Bright Insight. He said, conspiracy theory involving today's outage. It was a dry run for a cyber or an EMP attack. They waited for a solar flare, then deployed a dry run attack. It would also be effective predictive programming to the masses for when the real one happens prior to the November election. So, I mean, last night when I was talking with Jay Gulanello, I said, well, there is a predictive programming aspect to it, if you're saying that, but it's definitely there is a programming aspect, no doubt. You start getting more of these, we'll see. If you start getting more of these, and if they start happening in more severe ways, you have to spend a day or two without cell service instead of a couple of hours. It's just anything to make you feel like these things happening are normal going forward. And when it comes to this theory about there being a solar flare and this being deployed and timed just like that, I can believe it. I find this theory actually pretty valid and worth considering based on the climate change broadcast that we've done with Jim Lee alone. Because when Jim Lee would come on, we'd talk about grand solar minimums. Now the world is heading into one of those phases. What we usually conclude is that climate change fraudsters are geoengineering. They are causing regional and local, atmospheric craziness. They are committing to as much chaos as they can. But as far as the entire planet goes, that we were heading into a grand solar minimum. So to take credit for what cooling nature is already going to provide on its own, that would make it seem like all the geoengineering that they're doing, the spraying or the taxing and spending that they're doing in the name of climate change would actually have been going to some good use, when it was really just the Earth going through its natural cycles in conjunction with the activity of the sun and everything else. So I don't know. Would it be harder? It would certainly be easier to orchestrate a small cyber hiccup around the time of a solar flare just to cause some kind of a margin of chaos. You never know. Just throwing that out there. I thought it was an interesting theory and not too crazy. All right, we're going to go take a break. When we come back, we're going to do some Babylon Bee headlines. We're going to have a little bit of fun, and then I'm going to introduce the main topic of the night, which is the greatest gifts you ever received, the greatest things you've ever inherited. So I'm going to set the table for that in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.
We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good
having
morning.
me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's ride!
Yes. All right, ladies and gents, welcome on back. It's good to have you here. Good to have you along for the ride. It is Friday night. It's about 7:50. What time is it? 7:18. And Matt is here. I'm sure much to everybody's delight. Matt's just sparking. He's just sparking it up.
I have to quit soon.
Why? What's happening?
At least after October, I have to get my CDL.
Oh, you're going for it, huh?
I have to make more money, bro.
You're going for it.
I have to.
Don't you have people there that's been working there for like decades and they don't have their CDLs?
I mean, if you get a CDL, you go up
Quick.
like, in grade. Yeah.
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 Well, hey, you got to do what you got to do. How's that going to feel?
It's gonna fucking suck. I'll probably end up killing myself.
When is this? October?
That's when my probation. Man, my probation might be done before then. But I don't know. I might do that. I might take like maybe an HVAC class because that will make me go up a grade.
Well, that's good. Imagine going up to the mountains and not being able to smoke a joint. Oh.
Well, I was talking to some dude at that sewer job we're doing, and he works for a company, and they test him, and he smokes, and he said, just get hot piss. I don't know what that meant. I don't know if that meant
piss.
like piss from someone else, or if there's a product called hot piss.
It's one or the other two. It's one or two. It's like some kind of new thing that people drink or something beforehand, which with cannabis, it doesn't really do the trick. You either have to dilute whatever the hell's coming out of you. You got to find a way to drop something in that neutralizes it right there.
Yeah.
As far as you go, that's the whole thing about THC. It's like fat soluble. It's not water soluble. You'd have to like get onto a. I don't even know how much it would work, but you'd have to get onto a treadmill for a couple of days. You have to burn fat.
Drink water, yeah. But I was on probation once for like I don't know however long it was, but for 6 months I didn't smoke. I was getting tested. I was testing positive. It was lower and lower each time. For 6 months, that's how much I smoked.
You were testing positive for 6 months? And you weren't smoking the whole time? Wow, bro. That was all urine?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, you better stop from now then.
Nah, I don't smoke that much anymore now. It's just like once a day, maybe twice.
Well,
and maybe 3 times on the weekends.
I wish you.
Depends.
I wish you luck. Now, you know what you can do, because I really don't smoke all that often or partake really at all. But so it would be no skin off my nose. But you can always relax and indulge in a hookah from time to time with me now.
I'll probably just become an alcoholic.
There's no test for that. Oh, well. Anyway, let's get to some things I have over here. For tonight, I want to review again for the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember, I have a couple of really amazing open threads that I'd like for you to go and check out on quitefrankly.tv. It's at the top of the forum. A couple of them we're going to be doing next week. One of them is not listed here. But what is the best thing that you ever inherited? We're doing that tonight. 6 Degrees of Separation is back. We already have 5 responses to that. So, Matt, I would love to get you in on this if you have anybody in your life. But do you have anyone in your past, your family history, near or far, whatever, that has made history? Okay, 6 Degrees of Separation from somebody that at least contributed to history in a publicly notable way.
I don't know if publicly, but one of my relatives was he was actually really successful horse jockey. His last name was Luzzy. He actually ended up getting in trouble for something. I had another uncle that was in Patton's third tank division. And then my other uncle was the pro boxer. He was Rocky Graziano's sparring partner.
Very nice. Hey, listen, you can add anything.
Also, I think, like somewhere down the line, Jackie Gleason is somehow.
Jackie Gleason?
Yeah, I
the
remember hearing
Honeymooners?
that, yeah. I remember hearing it back in the day a couple times from like the older family members.
Well, he's not that far in the past.
I'm talking about like, my family members that were like passed away already.
Right, okay.
Because, he was
in the
40s and 50s. Or the 50s, I think he started. That was a long time ago, bro.
It was a long time
ago. I realize
ago.
It's 2023. I always forget, too.
I was thinking about this the other day when I was looking at all this stuff. There's this one video of me. I was going to play a little bit on the air the other day, and I ran out of time. But when I was looking through all the old stuff that we had, I was looking at one broadcast in particular that was just off of our laptop in 2007. We had a laptop. 2007. We got one of those wireless sticks, like a Verizon wireless stick. I paid like I forget how much it was every week or every month, and we just set it up in our kitchen. It was me, Anthony, Mike, and Skip. We were baking cookies and playing whatchamacallit, blackjack. And it was really just incredible. I showed Anthony, I was just watching it, and it was incredible just to see us all. And it's so long ago now. And I'm looking at it, and I'm saying to myself that, this is going to be akin to me having moving image footage of somebody in my past from like the late 19th century. Being born in 1885 that's ancient. We think. We're born in 1985. For the next couple of generations, we are literally the 1885 crew. I mean, we have there was a little bit better. I don't think that we really actualize how real people were in the past until there was better ways of recording them. Things become a little bit more realistic to us once we get away from painted portraits and we go into photographs and moving images. You know?
Yeah, well, you know it's going to be crazy. Eventually, technology is going to get to the point where, like, remember how we watch, like, old, like, Babe Ruth, the baseball movies, how the footage is completely different? Like, that's fucking weird. This shit's going to be like that eventually.
Well, dude,
they're going to look back and, like, this is fucking ancient shit. Like, how could anyone watch TV, like, or do this or that? It'll be like watching black and white TV.
Okay.
To the fucking...
You ever see
futures
Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig's batting practice, but they had the frame rate corrected? You know, like when we were growing up, if you and I and anybody out there ever watched any old footage from baseball from the 19-teens throughout the 1920s and even early 1930s, watching Babe Ruth swing the bat and run around the bases. I mean, he had a very dainty run. As it was, it looked like he kind of ran on his toes. He didn't have a long.
Like he was pedaling really fast, but not going anywhere. Type of thing.
He didn't have a long stride. So he didn't have a long stride. But anybody that you watch from like 1920s baseball or sports, they always look like they're running so much faster and all that because the frame rate was so weird. Well, you know, so it almost made it seem like they came from another planet. But like this is something right here where the frame rate was corrected maybe a couple of years ago, and this was just incredible. I love watching this every once in a while. Here, take a look. Here's this is Ruth and Gehrig batting practice. Okay, so they added in all of the sound. That's all just Foley work there, but look at how smooth that is. It's like the real, and Gehrig is such a
all muscle.
He's a beast. Look at his back.
Dude's neck muscles popped when he swung.
He's a bull, man. I love this footage. One more swing. It's just nuts. I love that stuff. But that's what I'm talking about. We're the 1885 people now. Like when we talk about the 90s, I was reading F. Scott Fitzgerald. I forget. I mean, he does this often whenever it's just, you know, he creates characters and stuff in his books. I don't know if it was Lost in Paradise or something like that. But Fitzgerald, I remember kind of thinking about this a couple of years ago when I was reading one or two of his books because I had a summer where I went for all these American classics. As much as I can get, and he had two characters talking over coffee or something, and they were referring to back in 95, you know, back in 93. This is what the characters are talking about in the 1920s, you know, in that you know, that post-Victorian raging 20th era when everybody's that lost generation kind of thing where everybody's, you know, the flappers and gin and just whatever, just living life. I'm looking at it, I'm like, back in 93, wow, 95, that's 1893, I have to remind myself. We talk about the 90s, that's it. I mean, it's 1893 again, whenever we talk about third grade. It's fucking nuts. It happened so quick, too. Oh, man. Let's see. So, yeah, I have a couple of threads up there on the forum. Go and jump in on that. I have a couple of great ones to do next week with you all, and it should be a really, really fun time. All right. Okay, let's get into some Babylon Bee, shall we, Matt?
Indeed.
Okay, here we go. First one up. Google executives promise to do a better job of hiding their AI's racism. You've been seeing...
I heard about that, yeah.
Everybody's black, including the Nazis, though. That was interesting.
Oh, really?
I thought the AI was, you know, the Google programmed AI was at least going to leave the Nazis as white.
Well, I mean, let's cut the Gemini break. It is Black History Month after all.
Just trying to do the right thing, of course. Here you go. Headline. Excited Netflix writers turn to Google Gemini for new show ideas. And there is it's Washington, George Washington, of course. Black George Washington. Brilliant. Headline, gender studies grad writes thank you in latte for plumber who paid for her student loans. That sounds great. There you go. Letitia James seizes Mar-a-Lago and sells it for $740 million. What a...
Fuck, yeah, I can't stand them.
Dude, this whale is a couple hours ago on Twitter. See, for Twitter, I gave up, for Lent, I gave up being very, very combative and unpleasant on Twitter, or else I would have. So I've just been ignoring a lot of things. But I saw this. A couple hours ago, she merely tweeted the full dollar amount of what Trump has been charged to pay a couple of days ago by the courts. You want to talk about politically unmotivated? Who the hell even trouts that? As if she's holding a trophy fish or something like that. This whale, man. This whale.
Let's see how she likes the IRS looking into her. Well, actually, what am I talking? They ain't gonna look into
her. What are you talking about?
She just has all this cash on hand, giving it away and this and that, or repaying people or whatever.
Yeah,
and she'll get away with it. Yeah, we know.
Here you go. A headline: AT&T customers unaware of network outage since they are used to not having a cell signal. There you go. Google Gemini finally draws white man after being prompted to generate Clarence Thomas. There he is, Clarence Thomas. For those of you who don't know. I don't know what that is. Trump, here's the headline. Trump is the greatest threat to America, says the man overseeing the invasion of America. That's another one. Baptist pastor doused with grape juice after incredible preaching performance. Yeah. Let's see. Man with beautiful wife, 2 kids, still ranks entering initials into Cruising USA leaderboard among the top 3 life achievements. Yeah. Did you ever enter your initials into leaderboards at like the diner or anything like that?
Nah, I don't think so.
I never
ever did.
Never
I
had a
probably
moment.
just put FFF or something like that.
I never had a moment like that. Here's one last one. Headline: Congress warns, if we don't keep sending billions to Ukraine, the war might end. Yeah.
Can't have that.
No, we can't have that. We cannot have that. I saw a couple of really great Mike O'Hearn memes. I still love these things. Every once in a while they really hit. This one I think you sent to me. It's the one where it's the lawyer watching his client jump on the judge, where Mike O'Hearn is the lawyer of the guy who jumps. I love this. I love this one so much. Hold on a second. Let me bring you back down over here. This one really got me. Here we are. Almost like I told you it was gonna happen. Like, whew! I gotta see that one more time. Almost like called it. I called it. What else? What else is there? Oh, this one. This one too. The one where he sees he's looking at a plane that's passing. It looks like it's heading toward that tower in Dubai.
Yeah.
But it goes behind the tower in Dubai, and then whew.
The music.
Close. Close. I just love the music selections. I love the music selections for all these memes. How it just happens, I don't know. Did you hear this? Did you hear that they made a 3D printed, they're actually able to 3D print the esophagus and the vocal cords of a mummy to try to see what they sounded like? Have you heard this one? You got to take a look at this one. I know that you would like it.
Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice by recreating his mouth and vocal cords with a 3D printer. It allowed them to produce a single sound.
That's the sound he made when they killed him.
It left a resonant impression. That's all he can produce now. Anyway, there's a lot of things here I have. Oh, okay, now here's one I wanted to bring up. Did you know about this incident, this time, that John Adams and Benjamin Franklin spent sleeping in the same bed?
Head to toe, though.
Well, let's read about it.
And one was under the covers and one wasn't.
Here you have it. Ready?
And they both said no after.
Imagine two of our country's founding fathers, one of them aged 47, the other 70, sharing a single bed together on a chilly night in the fall of 1776. Yes, it happens, and it wasn't pretty. The younger man was John Adams, who in 21 years would become our nation's second president. His bedmate for the evening was none other than the eminent scientist, publisher, and statesman Benjamin Franklin. Both, along with one other delegate appointed by the Continental Congress, were headed to Staten Island from Philadelphia to engage in what would be failed peace talks with British Admiral after American troops led by George Washington had narrowly escaped a disastrous battle on Long Island. Today, a drive from Philly to Long Island, one that I have taken many times, takes just a few short hours, but in 1776, that journey required days and was long enough that a party were forced to stop overnight at a tavern in Piscataway, New Jersey. You ever been to this one? The inn was busy that night and only 2 rooms were available. Adams and Franklin chose to share a bed in a room without a chimney and only with one small window, and then the fun began. According to David McCullough's biography of the second president, the two men argued fiercely over whether or not to keep a window open at night. Quote, "The window was open and I, who was an invalid and afraid of the air in the night blowing upon me, shut it closed," Adams wrote in his diary. "Oh," says Franklin, "don't shut the window. We shall be suffocated." I answered I was afraid of the evening air. Dr. Franklin replied, "The air within this chamber will soon be, and indeed is now, worse than without the doors. Come, open the windows and come to bed." Can you? I can't imagine. I mean, obviously they're peers, but even for Adams, he's with this guy that's 30 years his elder, his senior, and imagine Benjamin Franklin ordering you to open the window and come to bed with him.
He probably let out a fucking big-ass fart after he didn't.
You know he had horrible farts.
He looks like it.
Horrible. The two men bickered back and forth about the conditions, with Adams citing his frail nature and Franklin referring the young man to his own theory of colds, which held that, quote, "Nobody ever got a cold by going into a cold church or any other cold air." Eventually, the two men agreed to disagree, with Adams falling asleep to the sounds of Franklin's harangue upon air and cold and respiration and perspiration. So there you have it, our two founding fathers, both overweight, unwashed, and likely snoring in the same bed for a night in New Jersey, with the window open while on their way to try to save the nation. The mission, as we know now, failed. The war continued until officially ended in 1783. No one knows if the two men ever shared a bed again. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall. The fly would have died, probably.
Yeah.
The stink.
That stench.
The stench of that room had to have been intolerable. Anyway, here's the main thrust of tonight's show, Matt. I want you to listen to this story. This is from Fox Business, and it was back in December, and I held it for a night like tonight. Hermes. I don't know how to say this one. Hermes Air. So it's a, let me see here. It's a French luxury brand.
Oh, Hermes.
Hermes?
Yeah.
Hermes.
Like that.
Yeah, well, it looks like Hermes, but it had, when I see those accent marks on things,
Hermes.
Everything goes out the window. Nicholas Puke, an 80-year-old heir to French luxury brand Hermes Fortune, is reportedly planning to distribute his wealth to his 51-year-old gardener. Okay, his gardener. The gardener who he also intends to legally adopt. According to Swiss publication Tribune de Genève, cited by the New York Post, the heir of the luxury brand is planning to pass his wealth to his former gardener and handyman from a modest Moroccan family. Puch, who has already, or allegedly already, initiated the adoption process with the gardener, hopes to pass down billions of dollars of the Hermes Fortune since he is unmarried and has no children of his own. The fifth-generation descendant of Thierry Hermes, stands to pass down billions of dollars, currently valued at over $220 billion.
You better watch out. He might be sued for something he, never did.
But dude, imagine that. He reportedly owns between 5 and 6% of the house, which puts his net worth between 10 to 11 billion. He also hopes to pass down 5.9 million in properties in Marrakesh, Morocco, and someplace in Switzerland. The Swiss publication reported that he could pass on half of his inheritances to his former gardener. The gardener is reportedly married to a woman from Spain and has 2 children. I mean, that's incredible. Can you imagine being the gardener?
Yeah, that's he must really be a good gardener. Grew some great tomatoes or something.
I mean, I wonder if he's going to continue with the gardening just because he loves it.
Yeah, he'll constantly garden the rest of his life.
He'll never stop. But that's billions of dollars, and that's what I wanted to ask. I wanted to bring this up and let people call in and talk about the things that they've inherited over the years from family, from friends, whatever the hell it is. Somebody gifted something to you, the best thing you ever inherited, and it's based on this story right here. Perhaps it's something with sentimental value, we said over here on the thread, like a piece of costume jewelry or something more exquisite, like a diamond engagement ring that belonged to a special family member. Did you ever inherit a big-ticket item like a house or a vehicle, a surprise lump sum of money from a distant relative, a quirky antique that tells a unique story? How about a physical characteristic like your grandfather's handwriting or an uncle's distinct sense of humor? I definitely got my grandfather's handwriting.
Yeah.
It's strange. My father's father, and of course I never met him. He died, a couple of decades before I was born. But when I see inscriptions in books, I see the way he signed his name. It's my handwriting. It's very strange. So we've got quite a few people that put into this. I'm going to open up the lines right now, just for people to say, just for people who want to say hello. I mean, it's been a while since people saw Matt, so I think people might want to say hello and all that stuff. Call now, 914-200-0269. You can just give some shout-outs, say hello, tell a joke, and you can let us know also what is the best thing you've ever inherited in your life. It's Friday night, and we're looking to chill, so there you go. The lines are open. While we're waiting for that, Matt, do you have anything you ever inherited? Or a gift?
Not.
Anything? A book? Something special?
I don't know. I've received a lot of stuff. I don't know what would be the most. I can't really.
Nothing from somebody dying or in a state, nothing like that? I wouldn't be surprised if you did. These are things that you kind of...
No, I didn't, no. I don't think so.
Well, soon maybe. You just never know. You never know. A lost cousin from, somewhere in the world. Like, for example, Mr. Deeds. This whole thing reminds me of Mr. Deeds with the gardener and all that, where Deeds didn't have any he didn't have any family except this one, however many removed cousins or nephews or something. I mean, that's I always wonder about that because I do have family in some parts of the world.
Yeah, no, I never got shit.
Let's take a first call up here. What's going on? You're on the air.
This is Jeremy.
Jeremy, how are you? What do you got?
Well, I inherited a ventriloquist doll from my grandfather.
Oh, damn.
And it was to his likeness. He tailored one of his suits to the doll. And when you open up this box that ironically looks like a coffin, it's got all of his accessories. He did wood carvings and whatnot. And the most interesting thing in there was it had a carved penis to the likeness.
For the dummy?
Yeah.
Now, do you know any of the history of this dummy for your grandfather? I mean, when was it?
Oh yeah.
Was it?
I watched him build it.
Oh, he made a dummy in his own likeness.
in his own likeness.
And he included the penis.
Yes, he included the penis.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. And this so when did he pass away?
Let's see, September 23rd, 1997.
So he dies, you guys are going through that process right there, and then of course it gets around.
No. It was very expected and very loving time, and it was, and I knew about it prior to. I mean, I watched him build the doll.
So he told you that this doll is going to be yours one day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So okay,
absolutely, and he would take the doll on planes, and he would flirt with the stewardesses, when they were normal looking stewardesses, and yeah, he played ass grab with the stewardesses and everything.
Oh my! I hope he didn't put the penis attachment on the doll on the plane.
No.
Okay.
No. That probably would have gotten him booted. Although he did have run-ins with the, it wasn't TSA, the airport security. One time he was taking me to the airport, and he lived in a older house, and it became a rougher neighborhood. And back then he could take me to the gate. I was like, 13 or 14 years old, and he put he called it a ditty bag. He kept he would always have snacks in it or something to keep him occupied. This was before technology ever existed. And, he forgot that he had a loaded handgun in his ditty bag, and he put it on the x-ray machine. So that was quite an experience.
Your grandfather sounds like a wild man.
Oh, he was a wonderful wild man.
He sounds like he was an adventure.
Oh, absolutely. He was a steeplejacker back when Pittsburgh was really booming, and so he was out there walking the beams. And I found that I asked him, I said, what's the highest up you ever went? He goes, it doesn't make any difference. After 3 stories, it doesn't make any difference. And I said, well, what about harnesses? And he goes, we didn't use harnesses. And I was like, wow. And
yeah.
I'm the guy who can't even go to an edge of a cliff.
Listen, I'm with you. I stare at all those old, and thank you so much for the call. I'm glad this was the first one that came through. Have yourself a wonderful night.
All right. You do the same.
That's an amazing call right there. I look at all those old pictures of people building the Chrysler Building or the Empire State Building, and it's just, you marvel at the balls.
Yeah, it's scary just watching it.
Could you ever do anything like that?
No.
I'd be frozen.
Even if I had a harness, I wouldn't. No.
They're skipping around. They're cutting corners. They're skipping around. They're having their lunch on these beams. It's just incredible. Let's take another call. 216, you're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Who's this?
This is misbehaving again. I hate to take up so much of your time.
No, it's okay. Go right ahead.
But your last caller interrupted what I was calling about, because I'm a glazier, and I've been on the walls for years. I've worked as a steeplejack. But, yeah, as far as inheritance, I inherited.
Hold on, sir. Sir, you are breaking up badly right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got that you were a steeplejack, that you were doing that kind of work for a while, and then the quality went down badly.
I'm sorry about that.
You're back.
No, you're talking about inheriting things.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, I inherited a house from my uncle, but there's a long story behind that. But the conditions was I had to evict my own cousins from the house they grew up in.
So to be able to inherit the house that was being left to you, you first had to...
No, before my uncle actually passed away. Because the house remained in my aunt's name until she was gone. And once she was gone, the house reverted back to him. And they got divorced in the early 60s. And there was like family troubles.
All right, so what happened? So it's without getting...
I had to evict my own family from their childhood home.
Well, that must have been uncomfortable.
Well, actually, it was kind of cool, but yeah, the story's too long and too detailed to do it justice on a telephone call. But your previous caller with working on the wall that's something I've been doing for 40 years.
You're not doing it anymore. You're not doing it anymore now, though, are you?
No, I'm 67. But anything over 3 floors, you're done. Unless you're wearing your rig,
well, I guess that's the whole point. Obviously, and thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. The call quality is just too muffled and too bad. But yeah, I get that. After three floors, the physics of the matter speaks for itself. I guess the whole point is that 3 floors being what it is, I have to imagine everybody these days have to have harnesses on now. So,
oh yeah, OSHA, they made everyone pussies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, hey, that's the only way that someone like me would go anywhere near something like that. And let's say you're not afraid. That doesn't mean you don't make a mistake. And if you make a mistake,
only like 3 people died during the Empire State Building. Maybe not even. Maybe 1 or 2.
Well, let's say somebody made a mistake and they killed themselves. What if they fell the opposite direction and killed somebody on the street below? That's something else.
That's just a freak accident. Stuff like that happens all the time.
Let's take a call. 434, you're on the air. What do you got for us?
Hey. Hi, this is Marina. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Marina. Just make sure that stream is turned off in the background.
I'm doing that right now.
Wonderful.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Frank.
Yes.
I'm calling. Shit. I can't get the stream off.
Well, just turn the volume off.
Okay, I just did.
There you go.
Hey, listen, so Frank, hi, I'm calling. And first of all, hi, Matt.
Hi.
I wanted to let you know that I live near Swannanoa and University of Science and Philosophy in Waynesboro and the Monroe Center and Synchronicity, which I'm sure you're both aware of those locations.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I wanted to say thanks for introducing me to Reverend Bill Bean. He's done a spiritual clearing for me, and I've been in touch with him for some ongoing guidance, and it's been quite a blessing, and I just am so grateful to you, Frank.
Oh, well,
for all you've done for me over the years. And in that respect, I'd like to say that I often wish I could send super chats, especially for the ones that put me in the ring for the books that you
oh yeah.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of 504 and 404 messages come through back to me. I've had, super chats go through 24 hours after they were charged to my credit card.
Really?
I have a lot of problems.
I've heard about the 404s. I've heard about the 404 errors, and I've gotten in touch with Stream Elements about that. And they'll run diagnostics on the account. They won't see anything out of whack or anything like that. So I just, this is one of the things that I regret to say I've had to deal with over the years of having to improvise, where I allow people, or I get people to contribute to Super Chats live ever since losing Super Chats on YouTube and elsewhere and just pretty much becoming demonetized.
Jeez, yeah, that's...
But I wish I had a solution for you, Marina. And I'm happy that you're getting that kind of enjoyment and value out of the show. And as far as Bill Bean goes, he actually just emailed me today to see how everything's going on over here. Yeah.
Yeah, I told him I was very grateful to him for helping you out.
Well, then maybe that's why he emailed me. But he emailed me to check up, and I said, well, you know what? I still try to tap into that wonderful feeling of peace and calm that we had when we did that cleansing over the phone, and everything is working as it should over here. Then again, everything in the room is 100% brand new. I got to get at least a couple of weeks of good activity out of this equipment. So we'll see. But Marina, thank you for the call. Is that all you wanted to say?
Yeah, that pretty much is it. Ma molte grazie, ti voglio tanto bene.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Good night,
Beautiful.
Frank.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Thank you. It sounds so good, doesn't it? All right, let's take another call here. Well, let's get something from the thread over here. We got a couple more minutes before Matt has to go. Matt, listen to this one. Let's see here. This is from Maria. It says, I inherited my grandmother's, my father's side, blue willow china that we always ate holiday meals on growing up at her house, all except the Japan-made blue willow because the set was originally her mother's, who smashed the Japan-made china when my grandmother's brother died in World War II. I also read a lot of that's a really interesting piece of the history of the incomplete set. Very emotional, too. I've also read a lot of turn-of-the-century and mid-century detective novels and found my grandmother, on my mom's side, was a huge fan of the same authors that I love. She passed away a month before I was born, so those facts that I find out make me feel connected to someone I never met. It's the same kind of thing, though it's smaller in respect with me. Same kind of thing I have with my father's father, with not only the handwriting, but we have, and I've read some of these letters on air. Maybe I should do it again for show and tell. But we have some of his letters from the Army writing back home about how he's preparing scripts for a radio show that he's starting in Italy while he's out there. On the Army bases, they're doing radio and all that. So just to see that he was so into creating entertainment, radio entertainment programming during the war, there's just so much that was that would have been really interesting to have known him for any period of time. That would have been great. All right, let's see here. We'll take another call, and then we're gonna go to break so Matt can get going. 403, you're on the air with Matt and Frank. What's going on?
What's up, brethren? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Who's this?
This is Josh. I just wanted to ask you, are you still looking for office chairs or whatever office chairs to...
No. I've got 4 boxes out there I will be assembling tomorrow, and then these are getting thrown in the garbage.
Yeah. Understandable. Oh my gosh. Okay, I bought a secret lab chair, and I'm telling you, my booty cheeks are thanking me.
Wait. What's a secret lab chair?
It's a gaming chair. It's kind of like what you have on right now, but
yeah. Well, my ass cheeks are numb right now. I'm so ready. I'm ready for a new seat. I've been sitting in this one for 3 years. It is deflated. It is numb.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you're doing some good work in that chair. So.
Well, thank you. Thank you, my friend. So, hey, any big time inheritances or special sentimental ones over your life?
Probably my father's attitude, just a hard working attitude, and just being willing and able to work with my hands and learn new things. Like my dad is a machinist. I mean, so am I. And he started this machining company back in 2003, and I finally bit the bullet and started as a laborer there like 5 years ago, and just worked my way up to becoming a journeyman, and I just love it. Like, and my father is just such a good man, good Catholic man, and just that attitude just it helps a lot more people than just me. So I'm hoping I can be just as good as he is.
And that's one of those that's one of those gifts that the impacts that it makes on people around you and the places that you live in. It's very hard to quantify because the impacts are, the ripple effect is so far reaching. But that's great, man. And I'm looking for those types of inheritances too. The world outview, resourcefulness, attitude. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
What's up, man? Good, how are you?
Oh, he's doing
Yeah,
fine.
have a good night, boys.
Can you hear me?
He's doing fine. Yeah. He can hear you. A machinist. I should have asked him. Machinist. That is some when you get to like
Good movie by Christian Bale.
a master machinist though. That's like somebody at that point who could take metal, just like a block of metal, and they can make something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I believe so.
I'm thinking that's what it is. That's incredible. That's incredible skill. Anyway, Matt, it was good to have you by at least for a half hour.
Thanks,
or half of a show. And tomorrow night we'll do a little bit more with John Ward in tow.
Indeed. Looking forward to it.
Well, you have yourself a good rest of the night. I heard you have to go make a quick trip over to LaGuardia Airport.
That's Newark. Yeah, LaGuardia.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time I had to go to Newark.
Yeah, you're going to Queens. Yeah. So, anyway, enjoy yourself. Drive safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, we're going to be jumping off over to quitefrankly.tv, to pilled.net. It is one and the same in many respects, and I want to take some more of your calls, a lot more of your calls. 914-200-0269. I've got this thread that is just bubbling with great stuff, and there's more to dip into for the second half as we put a nice bow on another busy week. So don't go anywhere. Unless it's quitefrankly.tv or pilled.net. It's 2 clicks, and we are just picking up where we left off. I'll see you right there.
The rest of the show is available exclusively at pilled.net. Follow the link in the description of the episode, get signed up, it's that easy. Or head on over to quitefrankly.tv, just press play. No paywalls, no censorship, no strings attached. So head on over, quitefrankly.tv, powered by Foxhole, and pilled.net.
It's intermission time, folks. Time out to press the like button. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to intermission.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, intermission. Yeah, intermission.
We're now entering, quite frankly.
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 Quite frankly. Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
We all